told you I'm coming for you, I'm coming through you, either way, it don't matter.
Welcome to another episode of BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, BIRDGANG 31.
Hey, why they so mad at you? A cock to the distance, know I'm the raddest dude. Plus the flow is on point and it's tactical. Don't make my goons gon' get after you. Don't feel bad for that dude. Leaving behind, girl, that's what you had to do. Lord, say this is not something for you. It's the shit that got me going prehistoric. I'ma beat the people they been fiending for it. If you see the problems, I can ignore it. I've been in the trenches, I've been bleeding for it. Go nuclear like you got nuke 'em. I rebuke 'em if they attack, then I juke 'em. Fuck 'em like Michael, I juke 'em. Hit 'em with the kids, I got do. I'ma bring it to the pessimists. Hope you niggas get the message. This is it for the pessimist. Killing demons like an ex of his passive aggressive is over. This shit for the soldiers and all of the warriors. Know that the battle is glorious. Until my whole team is victorious, bitch, I'm a monster. Bitch, I'm a monster. I'm saying, bitch, I'm a monster. If I snuck up in the bedroom and touch you while you sleep, you know it's me, yeah. I'm fucking with you, I ain't gonna get you out of this track. TCJ made it. Niggas can't believe what I'm doing. I'm a man like a cat hoeing 9 lives. Summer 18, they squeezing the 9, 10 times. Sending these cats lost, but I'm starting hard.
What is up? What is up? Welcome to another episode of BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, BIRDGANG 31. Today, Nation, we got a very special guest in the building. It's two-time Emmy winning for production, right?
Producer, yeah.
Okay, producer, two-time Emmy winning producer, and a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. It's Sport Report Deb in the building. How you doing today?
Hey guys, what's going on? Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds.
Ready for the season.
Ready for the season, right? It's going to be an awesome season. I'm excited. You know, the 53-man roster, we're going to break it down. It's in here and it's done. We got Jalen Reagor. You know, we got a new piece for the defensive side. So there's a lot to talk about today, and I'm excited. And we're definitely going to get into it. Before we do, go ahead, everybody. Hit that like on the way in. Subscribe to all channels. This is airing on BIRDGANG 31 channel, BGN Sports Media, everywhere on Facebook, from the like pages to the groups, Twitter. So make sure you lock in on all the content. It's in my VIP. Also, go subscribe to Sports Report Deb. All of our information is in here as well. Give everybody a little background. Where you're from. What do you do there?
Hey guys, so I'm originally from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, South Jersey. Grew up in the Philly area. I now live in Los Angeles. I've worked in media now for couple decades. Been a little bit in TV since I was 12. And also do sport reporting on the side. Work with a lot of NFL alumni. Do some college football as well. So yeah, I'm super excited for this season and to see the Eagles take the NFC East.
Yeah, I like it. Those awards behind you look awesome. I need to get me some awards behind me. Yeah, let's get some BG some awards, because those are some nice awards behind her. We definitely need to add some of those to our collection over here. We ain't got no. I'm still waiting on my Super Bowl trophy. I've been waiting for like 3 months. I might have to reorder it because it's not got here yet.
I have the Super Bowl thing in the back. I have the you can see it. I do have the Eagles helmet, and I have the Super Bowl.
I see it. Look at you. That's nice.
Gotta represent, right?
Got to represent. They always bring your number one team. I know you cover a lot of different sports and you see a lot of different players, but the Eagles always been number one. You from the area?
Yeah, like I said, I'm from Cherry Hill, so I basically grew up at the Vet.
Nice.
I bleed green. I have since I was from the womb, I think. My family, huge Eagles fans. We've always had, yearly season tickets. Not to be a little morbid, but my nana, huge Eagles fan, to the point. And all my uncles played football in general.
Nice.
When my nana passed, we actually decorated her casket with like Eagles footballs and Eagles signs, and it was
really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that is legit.
I'm a fan. I remember that clearly. So it's family tradition. go to every game if I can, and have even covered a game or two with the Eagles. So I actually covered last season's season opener with the Falcons, as well as the Washington Eagles game around Christmas.
Nice. How is that?
Super amazing to be in the press box and to see everything that goes on there.
That would be awesome. I still can't. I need to get to the new stadium. I need to get there. That's my goal this season. To try to get to 2 games. Try to get the 2 games this year. We're gonna work on that one.
I think it's amazing. I mean, it's a little bit older now, but just the energy in the stadium is always amazing. I have to say, when I was at the press box, I kind of wanted to be out with the fans.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, in the press box, you can't. First of all, I love my job. Don't get me wrong, but you can't scream, you can't cheer, because you're Switzerland. So what are you gonna do? You have to do your job, and that's what I was there. I was writing an article for I work for a nonprofit news magazine website called the Skyboat. So I was there, writing an article for Skyboat. So I couldn't be a fan, unfortunately. And same with the Atlanta Falcons game. I mean, we were killing the Falcons, and I actually had to write kind of a pro Falcons story.
Oh man.
I was like, oh my God, it's a double like whammy for me. But you do your job. So yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. And that's one reason why I don't do too much of the play-by-play. I get too emotional, you know what I'm saying? I might be cussing out the TV, yelling at everybody, get out of here, let me be. Because the Eagles, we always have those games where it's just like we might be losing at first, it gets kind of stressful, and then you see us battle back, you're not sure we're gonna do it, So there's always those high intense games that keep me, very animated on game days. So, I've done a couple of them, but I haven't made it a full-time thing yet.
Well,
what up, Jason?
It was actually interesting too, because I actually ended up in the suite with Garrett Gilbert, who was the Washington quarterback for that game, because Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen were both out with COVID. So I ended up in Garrett Gilbert's suite with his family and his wife and his friends and his agent, just because I'm friends with his agent, and I wanted to say hi. So it was like I had to be like super chill.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit out. I was out with the Eagles fans, so it was a blessing to be there, and it was a great, amazing opportunity. But it's hard being an Eagles fan and then having to kind of chill out.
Hang out with the ops
players.
You've met a lot of good ones. I know I've seen a couple of your little interviews over there on your Instagram, man. You talked to some goats out there.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite so far?
Oh my God. In general, I mean, to be honest, my favorite interview in general is Pete Rose, which, baseball all-time great, MLB. God, I mean, I'm good friends with Brandon Graham, his family. I interviewed his dad. Hopefully we'll be having an interview coming up with Brandon soon. Oh, God. Jason Kelsey.
I've seen that one. How was that, partying with Jason Kelsey? That's pretty awesome.
Jason's awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't get better than Jason. Same with Brandon. They're just legit players and have amazing hearts. Who else? Rod Woodson, Hall of Famer. Terrell Owens, another Hall of Famer. I can keep on. Eddie George, Titans. I mean, Heisman.
Nice.
He's one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. He's from Philly originally. Charles Peanut Tillman, great interview. Yeah, I love it. Beasley Reese too. He used to play. He's former NFL, as well as he's the CEO of the NFL Alumni Chapter. So he's great as well.
A lot of good people. Was that always your dream? Was that always your dream to be, a producer, or was it more your dream to be on this side, like in front of the camera?
It's funny because I was 5 years old and I told my mom to get me an agent. Thank God she didn't listen. So she's like, my kid's gonna be a kid. And once I turned 18, I kind of did my own thing and went to school for broadcasting. Wound up on the other side producing. And then it was honestly just a couple of years ago that I did a lot of field producing, which is a lot of interviewing. And a couple of years ago, I just decided to make a pivot. Reality is just not what I want to do anymore. I like real stories. I like real people. I love sports. Woke up one day and I was like, why am I not doing this? So that's why I started to pivot, and it's been an amazing ride so far, and I can't wait to see where it takes me.
Nice, nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah, man. I just started this probably about a little over a year ago, like a year and 3 months ago. I'm
Uh,
actually doing the content side of it. I've always been a fan,
I'm
obviously,
impressed.
and it's fun. Like you said, like it's something that you just feel like you want to keep going with. Let's
I
see
could
how
talk
far I can take
football
us.
all day.
Yeah, see how far I can take it. Just doing like some of the favorite things we like to do. Talk about football in general because I love football. I'm a huge football fan. But just talking about the Eagles majority of the time, it's amazing, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I've gotten to talk just like you said. Bobby Taylor, Corey Simon. Leonard Weaver. I've also talked to beat writers like Bo Wolf, Christmas Pearson. A bunch of good people. A bunch of good people. You build a lot of good relationships when you're in this business. And yeah,
I feel
again,
like sports everyone, athletes, coaches, people who are involved in sports, if you love sports and you can talk the talk, everyone's very come on into the circle, very welcoming, and they want to hear your perspective. And it's not like that in Hollywood. Hollywood, you kind of get you kind of get walked all over, and
oh man.
oh my god, yeah, people are always wanting your job and fighting for your job, and you have to fight for your place in Hollywood. Whereas sports, I felt like I've been very welcomed, and people want to hear what I have to say. So
Nice. And it's always interesting when we see, females content creators out there. I've met some really good ones. Got another good one on later on tonight, but like there's a lot of really good ones out there. And I think it's always
yeah,
good to hear everybody's perspective. And it was not too long ago. You didn't see too many females talking about football, you know what I'm saying? And like, you see them more in the basketball or track or something like that, but the high impact sport like football. You didn't see that many of them
yeah.
talking about it. And like nowadays, you got a lot of good ones out there, man. A
And
lot
I
of good
think
ones out there.
like Pam Oliver paved the way. Laura Oakham, obviously Erin Andrews. Like they're the top of the Laura Rutledge. Like
Yeah.
many times. I mean, some amazing women in sports right now. So yeah, it's great to kind of be a part of that. And I think growing up for me, it was always the guys I watched. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that I had a place in football, and it wasn't until I saw Pam Oliver and Laura Oakham and Erin Andrews that I knew that I could do this. So,
Yes.
I mean, I remember from my college TV station, I remember it was Super Bowl, and I went around and did a field piece and asked everyone who I thought the winners were going to be and why. And so I was already doing it back then. I just didn't think it was the place for me. So that's kind of why I went into production and in the background. And then just recently, I was like, I'm going to do this. So here
What
I
I
am.
want to do.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Yeah, you got to follow that passion, man. Follow the passion. So tell me, what was your, take from the first year, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts starting quarterback, last year ending, 9-7,
Right.
first round bounce. Were you expecting us to go to the playoffs last year, or were you shocked that we actually made it? And how was your overall feel of last year?
I mean, I was shocked, to be honest. We started out just so poor,
Mhm.
and I mean, think everybody was down. But I think once we started running the ball, everything changed. And then we kind of became a bit of a force to be reckoned with.
Mhm.
Uh, wasn't shocked that we made the playoffs then, but was super excited. And then, of course, was bummed when the Buccaneers, we played
No.
Buccaneers, and Jalen kind of threw that game away. But and I actually was supposed to go down, and I had tickets to the game, had everything set up. I actually got COVID. I wasn't allowed to go, but
Oh yeah.
but I then when we lost, and we lost so bad, I was like, all right, now I'm glad that I didn't go. So,
Yeah. That
but I
was
think some of the off-season additions Sirianni's made. I mean, they're killer. A.J. Brown, Jordan Davis, Rhetoric, Chauncey, Dean White. I mean, we're gonna be powerhouse.
yeah.
I really feel we're
Super
gonna be.
stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said, CGJ, we just picked up yesterday from the Saints. To lock down that safety spot. I was a guy that's hoping Harris stayed, but that is definitely a better upgrade than Harris. So I feel real good about that. And that really solidifies it. Your wish list is done. The only thing people might still want us to go out there and get is another running back, but I like the three we got and the stout offense that we run. But man, the wish list is done. The team's fully stacked. I would have to say one of the best 53-man rosters I've ever seen the Eagles have. How
Mm-hmm.
about you?
I agree with you, to be
Mhm.
honest. And I covered the draft this season in Vegas.
Nice.
And just a funny story there. We were, we were sitting there as AJ Brown became an Eagle, and the consensus for the media in the draft room as we were interviewing the draft picks was Eagles, NFC East champions this year, and pretty much majority of the media was saying it. So I agree with that. The 53-man roster's solid.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think Jalen might be the question mark to it.
Oh, I was gonna get into that with you. Are you Team Hurts? Or are you still on the fence too?
I'm on the fence. Let's see how he does. And I hate to say that because I'm usually a yes or no type of gal. Like Wentz, I'm no, but Foles, I'm yes. I mean, we'll see. I think he's an amazing athlete. I think he works his butt off. You're not going to find anybody, a quarterback. Well, I shouldn't say you're not going to find a quarterback that works harder. But Jalen, I've never interviewed him. I've never met him, but I know he works really hard. I don't know if he's got the arm for it. So, and I don't know some of his decisions. We'll see.
He was a rookie last year. Well, not rookie, but first year starter.
Who am I to talk?
And the first 20 games, no one's had more passing or rushing yards than him as a quarterback.
He's a good rusher. Yeah.
You know?
He's a good rusher. No, and I mean, I hope he's the one. I really do. Like I said, I think he works his butt off. And, but I think Sirianni also, we're hooked up for the draft next season if it doesn't go his way. So
yeah, but that's a whole reset button away. Let's go Hurts, baby. We're gonna get it this year.
You're obviously Hurts, yes.
I am a Hurts 1,000% yes.
No, and I'm glad that you are because there's a lot of people that aren't. So
yeah, you gotta support your quarterback, And I think, like I said before, to be the only guy with that kind of stat line. Yes, he was one of the lowest percentages last year, but come on now, half the season we didn't run the ball. A lot of the season we weren't having that great of a scheme. Rookie head coach, rookie play calling. It was a lot of garbage play calling out there. So I don't really blame it all on him. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of drops, missed touchdowns.
No, I'm not blaming the whole. I'm not.
So I really think in terms of his progression, being number one, meaning the only quarterback ever in your first 20 games to have 4,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. I think you're on a great start. And I feel like, at this point in Carson rookie year, after his rookie year, Jalen's already done better than that. But everybody was willing to anoint Carson Wentz as being the franchise guy. We were happy about it. We were behind him 100%. And now the situation's turned with Jalen, and I don't feel like everybody's jumped the ship yet. They're just I don't know still.
Well, I haven't jumped ship yet.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm still trying to figure them out, and I'm just whoa, man, he's done the best of any of our quarterbacks ever in his first little time playing there. But it's just funny to see certain players get you certain type of things, what I'm saying? Even Morton McNabb and Vic and all those guys. So I think Jalen's a stud. I think he's gonna definitely be the long-term solution. And we're definitely not gonna be using any of those draft picks next year on
we can use them somewhere else.
Yeah. Use them somewhere else. Maybe get another safety or another running back or something like that. I think that'd be ideal for our football team. So
were you shocked that Sinnett and Strong were cut?
To be honest, both of them, not really, because I kind of figured we were going to go 2 quarterbacks. I imagine maybe Strong or one of them comes back to the practice squad once we release that, But no, I figured we were going to keep 2, because that's all we really need. I want to see Carson Strong because everybody was so hyped for him for the draft, They're like, oh, he's good. He got a great arm. It's just I think his legs are what everybody's worried about, his injuries or whatnot. And
he didn't. I don't know if they really got a chance to take a look at him in the preseason.
No, I think it was just the last game. Fourth quarter was the only time we got to see of him. So I think you can let Sinnett been in the league for a while. You know what I'm saying? Let's go see if he can go find him a backup job this offseason. And then you can go let Carson Strong be on your practice squad. Let him develop for a year or 2 before you bring him off that thing and see what you got then. Probably the smartest.
I do like Minshew though.
You like Minshew?
Uh-huh.
Do you think Minshew's better than Hurts?
Do I think
some people want Minshew to start over Hurts.
I didn't say that. I don't know. I have not that I like his mustache, I think. I'm gonna be a girl for a second.
There you go.
No, I mean, for
Looks
some
like one of
reason,
them rock stars.
I mean, that what was it? Wasn't last year, the year before. Was his rookie year? Kind of killed it for a while there. So
I
I
just
was
think
really into the train.
I think he's a perfect backup. At
Yeah,
this point in his career, I don't really think he's going to go out there and,
yeah,
command any new contract to be nobody's starter. So if we can keep him as long as possible, keep him. It should be our backup forever. As long as Jalen's there, you can keep him because if Jalen goes down 2 or 3 games, then I think Minshew can definitely be the guy that can go win those 2 or 3 games. We've seen him play last year, and I think at least this is his second year in the same system. So let him stick around as long as we can keep him. It's a good backup quarterback, and I'm liking it. It's kind of be like our new safety net, like Nick Foles was
yeah.
for a while there. So I'm looking forward to Minshew staying. Unless we can get something big for him. Say a quarterback go down, we can get a first round pick. Some team's desperate, then go ahead and pull the trigger. You can re-sign one of these other jabronis that we just let go. So it'd be all good.
Yeah. But we definitely have some upset athletes though after yesterday. That's for sure. It's always like the worst day.
Yeah,
The
getting
53
cut.
roster cut.
Yeah. And then to see the ones we make it, like I remember you were saying, like, oh man, Reagor made it. But today,
Yeah.
Jalen Reagor is no longer on the team. I repeat, Jalen Reagor is gone.
He's in the
Absolutely gone.
Vikings.
What did we trade him for? They gave us
He
what was it,
got
like a seventh and a
yeah,
fourth?
2023 7th round and 2024 conditional 4th round.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good, but hey, he's gone now. I hope
I
he
was
does
shocked
well
he
over
made it in
there.
the first place.
Huh?
So I was shocked he made it in the first place. So
Yeah, but in the offseason, he kind of starts warming up. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing Jalen making those nice catches, and people starting to really talk about him again. I know it's more of the hype train to try to probably get him to see about trading him this year. I thought it'd be great. Like, imagine if he was going to play at a good level this year. He don't have the pressure being number 1, number 2, or number 3 no more. Those spots are filled. To be like a swing 4 or 5 guy, with Pascal, that would have actually made our receiving core even more dangerous. I'm saying, look how deep that would go. That'd be like 5 receivers deep to have the caliber, the skill set to be able to go out there and play at high levels. And I think, I already think we got the best receiving core in the league.
yeah, I said that actually yesterday. I did a podcast, and I think our wide receiver room is stacked. And also too, I just heard a rumor. I was upset that Olympic hurdler, Devon Allen had been cut. But I'm hearing rumors that he's back on the practice squad, as well as Kane too. So
Yeah.
for them. Hopefully we can keep a hold of them because it's tough on the practice squad. Like other teams creep in.
Kane, I think probably for sure. Even Devin Allen, they might have seen that one good play and then like, oh man, maybe we need to, go sign this guy. But for the most part, this time of the year, people are kind of locked in there. And he says Kane and Allen is back. So yeah, they are back on the practice squad. Thank you, Drew Johnson, for that. Yeah, I think Allen, he just finished running track. Gotta give him some more time in the football gear. It's a little different.
It's been a while. Last time we
but
played was 2016 or something.
yeah, it was a while back. So to see him making that one play, that was exciting to see. Like, there's that speed we're seeing. There's that speed we're talking about to change the pace. Deep threat ability. I think it's probably more than likely. If he can stay on the practice squad all season long, maybe if we have some receiver injuries, you might bring him up. But if he stays on the practice squad the whole off season, then I think he'll be in good shape coming into next year. Maybe taking over for Pascal or one of these lower tier type receiver spots. What I'm saying? Maybe move himself onto the 53-man roster. Start pushing for some playing time down the road. So yeah, the sky's the limit for all these young cats. We let go a lot of good young cats. A lot of mediocre guys. Like Kobe and the rest of these guys that are gone. So I think, like I said, we're gonna definitely dive into it. And we have one of the best rosters I've ever seen as a Philadelphia Eagles. Out of all the years, I cannot think of a 53-man roster that at this point in the season was better. Not even a 17, because like I said,
our Super Bowl year was pretty hot too. So.
But we added throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't right off the jump. We haven't started game 1 and we're like, hey, Super Bowl champions, baby. What? If we lose, there's something wrong with the coaching. Something wrong with the coaching. Y'all heard the championship bells are rung. at the beginning of this video.
Every
You know,
game.
that let you guys know. Be on alert. The Eagles are coming for one of these. Another ring, baby. We're getting another ring. You
It's
know,
funny because I was actually about to show
have
my
two
ring
of them.
too. You got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have two of them on here after this.
Look
I'm
at
like, yeah,
you.
Eagles, baby. We're gonna
Well,
keep adding.
it's funny that you said that because I started actually wearing these two rings together, and the one's my Nana's ring, and the other one is my dad bought me because my mother was Irish, and it's green, and for Eagles green. So when the Eagles in 2017 started playing, were playing amazing. During the playoffs, I started wearing these two rings together, and I have worn them together ever since.
Nice.
So I'm like, this year, I'm like, the luck is coming.
Luck is coming back, baby. Luck is coming back. Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard. Like I said, we're gonna go through the roster here. You know, it's gonna be hard to beat these guys for real, for real. Like we got a lot of good talent going there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this here. Let me see. We're gonna start at the top here. And you guys in the chat, make sure you guys hit that like, but also let us know how did you like the 53-man roster. You know, are there anybody that you would have kept? You know, that wasn't kept. You know, did they nail it 100%? You know, do you see any holes or weaknesses that we still might have to upgrade? But we're gonna go through it right here. We got Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. I think we both think that that's perfect. You know, did you think we need to make it? I know you said something about it. Did you think we needed to keep a third one, or are you fine with that third guy being on the practice squad?
I mean, I'm fine with the third guy being on the practice squad, but I definitely think we definitely need a third quarterback. I'm never a fan of having just two because I mean, just if people get hurt, you know, COVID, we're still not on, still in COVID. Like, just if what was it, the Broncos the one time? I mean, this was like the height of COVID, but the Broncos had to play a wide receiver at quarterback because they ran out of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Was it the Broncos, the Browns? I don't remember. I think it was Broncos. So yeah, I guess I'm having PTSD from back then. So I would have liked to see maybe a third one on it, Snap baby, basically. But practice squad's cool too.
Nice. Running backs. We got three. We got Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenny Gainwell. Are you happy with that? Do you think we needed to keep another one? How do you like the trio? I think the trio is great. You know, that's what I had on my 53. We're just keeping those three.
Yeah. I agree.
You like that one.
Love Sanders, love Scott, Gainwell. Let's go.
you heard of rumblings of some of them like Murray or Hunt or, I think, what was the latest running back they were saying that wasn't happy? Maybe the Eagles can go out there and grab a trying to think. There's another running back. Was any of the other guys you willing? That my deal is like this. I think I want to see Miles take that star role over. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him, lock his position this year. Gainwell and Boston Scott are great compliment backs, but I really want to see Miles take it to that next level and earn himself a contract. I don't want to go get another good running back to the point where, now we can let Miles go next year, pay some other guy. Like, I like paying the homegrown talent. I think he definitely got that, and I would like to see Miles take that next step this year.
Yep. And he can, I think, too. He's got the ability, and
like we said, receiver. So I wonder who they're going to pull up for that fifth receiver spot. Because we got AJ, Devontae, Quest, Pascal, and Reagor. Reagor was just traded today, so I imagine they're making room for another receiver. Who? I'm not sure. Howie still got tricks left before the start of the season. Who knows?
He's got some tricks this year, man.
Yeah. He make that magic happen. Man, you got to give Howie his flowers, man.
Yeah. I've been on the fence about him. He's made some weird decisions in the past, but, I mean, he killed it in the offseason. He's, I guess it's still the offseason, but he's killing it with these trades, too. So
yeah, if we make it to, divisional round, Super Bowl, he needs to be the GM of the year again. Because the moves that he made this offseason has been nothing short of a miracle. To go from, bankrupt, owing, all this dead cap money to like even now we still have a little money over the cap, you know what I'm saying? And we're rocking still going into the season where he can still make another move or two. Like it looks like he's gonna have to make another move for one of these receivers. I think he probably seeing which one of these receivers got released yesterday, which one got talking money that he'll want to get. And you never know, maybe Devin Allen, or maybe that's the reason why they brought Devin Allen and a deemed back, then maybe, for the next couple of weeks, they'll battle it out on a practice squad. Maybe one of them will pop up, on the roster and fill that spot.
That's a good point.
And that would also be good for our team as well. So make them fight. Like, okay, you guys' battle isn't over. We just traded Reagor. Now you guys got a whole
Nobody is safe. He made the 53. You guys didn't. And now we're bringing him back.
Yeah. So beware of that one and watch out for that receiving core. Either us adding another one or pulling up one of these young studs. Mm-hmm. So tight ends, we kept 3, and these are the 3 I thought they were going to keep as well. Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll, and Grant Concaterra. How you like those 3?
Yeah, I'm good.
And I think they said what the other one? Jackson's on pub list, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So you like those 3? That's a good one.
I love Dallas.
It's time for him to take over too. It's time for him to step into that elite role. I think it's time I want to see him step into that elite role. He hasn't been there yet. Him having like 800 yards, that's good. Considering that you had Zach Ertz ahead of you all season. It's just going to be actually your first year without Ertz in front of you.
Which, I mean, to be honest, Zach Ertz is one of my favorite all-time players. So
Ertz, yeah.
I have his jersey. I almost wore it today. Was very excited to see him go to the Cardinals and do as well as he's doing. So, and congrats on the new baby too.
Yeah. Shout out to little Ertz. Yeah, and I like Calcaterra. He only played that last game because he was hurt majority of this. But I think, he's another guy that had chemistry with Jalen Hurts in the past. Stoll's more your blocking guy that can, he might be a Britton Selleck where he can block and catch. He's not that athletic or fast, but, he's going to definitely be in that mix. And then we always have guys like Richard Rodgers, that Toriagi going to be on the practice squad. Richard Rodgers, whenever we need him, we can call him. He comes back. He's been back and forth off our team like the last 3 years. So I'm not worried about if one of those guys going down, having backup. So, yeah, I think that would be the, 3 tight ends I would keep.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the ones I said we should keep with Jackson being on the pub. I still want to see what Jackson can do. He excited me last year. And for him not to be playing that much, he keeps getting hurt, kind of makes me a little bit mad. Like, oh, are you going to ever be a good player? Or was that just training camp highlights? You know what I'm saying? Like, Offensive line. We got Mailata, Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Isaac, Lane Johnson, Cam, Dillard, Opeta, Driscoll, and Seals.
I mean, it's a tight O-line.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you got enough backups to have enough experience. If any of the starters go down, you can plug it.
Cam Jurgens is the new Kelsey. I mean, for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he looked like him. Like for a little bit.
Too.
Even though he's a little bigger than Kels, it's like that, and I think that's even better. If he can play like that and still be bigger than Kels, then that might be a plus. He might end up being a better Kelsey. If he can stick around and be like dependable like Kelsey. I think Kelsey's never hasn't missed a game in forever. So that's reliability. The best availability is reliability is availability. So like you can't replace that. But if he can come in, next year, Kelsey played this whole year. I think this is gonna be his final year for sure. And replace him next year with Cam. I think we're gonna rock right through that whole transition. So
I'm impressed with him. So
now I am so happy about this because these are the guys that I wanted. 5 defensive linemen, which I still think is the best 5 DTs in the league.
Yep. I mean,
I love Fletcher Cox. He's playing at a high level.
Yep.
Devon Hargrave, Milton Williams played good last year. Jordan Davis is a phenom, a beast, a monster. And my boy, everybody forgot about last year. Didn't think he was going to make the team last year. And I told him when he gets healthy, he's going to be a beast. And that's Marlon Tuilapo. I always mess up his name. So Big Marlon from USC. I'm a huge USC fan. I watched him play. The guy's a beast. I think he was just injured last year, so he was really limited. But I think coming into this year, he's going to make his way. Everybody's going to know why. He made the team. I seen how he is going up the depth chart this offseason. I'm happy that he made it. to the 53-man roster and let's see what he can do from here.
Well, and I think I like Jordan Davis, learning from Fletcher Cox too. I think that's going to be, Davis and his rookie, and then Cox, kind of mentoring him. I think it's going to be amazing.
Have you got a chance to see Jordan Davis yet?
No, you know what? No. Mm-mm.
Did you see the picture though when it showed him standing next to Fletcher Cox? And he made Fletcher Cox look like a little baby,
which is scary.
Baby brother, which is
These
crazy, huh?
Huge, by the way. Like I can never. I mean, I'm like 5'6", whatever. Not petite, but not a small girl either. And when these guys stand next to me, I'm just like, oh my god, like,
monsters.
You don't even realize how big they are until you're actually next to them. So not intimidating in any means. Most of the football players and most of the athletes that I know are complete teddy bears. So
yeah, we're all nice, sweet monsters to get us out on that football field.
Exactly. Yeah, monsters, sweethearts. Otherwise.
So DN, we kept Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, and Tyrone Jackson. How do you feel about that one?
I mean, great too. I mean, Brandon Graham, obviously, Super Bowl champion. Good friends with his family. The man doesn't have an evil bone in his body, and is such a great and amazing football player. I'm super excited to have him back on the field. It was super bummed last year when he got hurt. No, Josh Sweat. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the entire 53.
Were you big on Barnett? Some people were mad that we kept him.
No, I mean, I think he's solid.
Because I was like, for one, we might not even win a Super Bowl without Barnett.
Why do you say that?
He made that big play in the Super Bowl too,
Right.
The recovery or the strip sack, one of the ones. In the Super Bowl, I know Brandon Graham had a strip sack.
Yeah.
I think he recovered it.
Yeah.
Just like he made little plays. You know what I'm saying? Then that whole playoff push, he was making plays on that defensive line. He was only a rookie that year, so you gotta give him time. I think yes, he's always trying to fill expectations of being Reggie White because he broke Reggie White's record and he was such an icon here that I think he put too much pressure on himself and now he's kind of just playing football and not having to be the starter when we have Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat. He's just gonna be a nice rotation. I think him and Sweat rotating off of each other is gonna put a lot of pressure on any defensive line. So I think that's definitely a good idea for that to happen. And Tyrone Jackson, another young player. I think we got him last year, right? He was making plays too last year, so good to see young players developing in our system, getting better. And yeah, I'm interested to see what these guys got and how far they can take us. We got the Sam linebacker, Hassan Reddick, Patrick Johnson, and Kerryon Johnson. And those are the three I said too. Like if you guys watched my 53 mention, those are my three, Sam linebackers that I said the Eagles was going to keep, and that's who they kept. Reddick the beast. Hopefully, what do you think about Reddick? Coming home to his area. He went to Temple.
Yep.
Back-to-back double-digit stats. Hopefully that continues here on the Philadelphia Eagles. And then Patrick Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, two nice young studs. One out of the draft this year, one from last year. Both of them play at high levels. Kerryon in college played at a high level, so I'm interested to see how good he can do here in this Eagles defense.
I would love to interview Reddick just because I think it's super special to be from Philly and then play for Philly. Not a lot of athletes that happens to. So
yeah. Then we got the linebackers, which I said if we would have just came back with 3 new linebackers, we probably could have, been all right. Our defense probably could have been all right. Everybody else would just took that next step in development. But I said in order for us to really be a better football team, we had to go get 3 new linebackers. And as you see, we went out and got 3 new linebackers for Reddit. Kaiser White, N'Kobe Dean. He still brought back TJ, the leader from last year. Davion Taylor, speedster. And Sean Bradley even hung around there. So how do you like these linebackers? Do you think it's a dramatic, improvement from last year? And who are you most excited on seeing play?
I mean, I think Taylor, there was some hype around him making the squad. I know I heard his name a lot during preseason, but they kept him. Oh, it says right there, I was checking into his training camp. So, Yeah, no, I mean, I like this group. So, I mean, White is an off-season addition, so we'll see.
Yeah, I want to see him do big things. I want Kobe Dean to start eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope he can live up to what we expect him. You know, I think he might be that next great linebacker for Philadelphia Eagles. It's been a while since we had one like that. You know what I'm saying? So I want him to even beat out, TJ Edwards. No matter, I'm not saying he's bad, but I feel like if that's the best linebacker, then we still don't have that great of backers on our team. And he was serviceable. He's the best linebacker we had last year. I want to see like Kaiser White, these guys really take that next step and like be the real true leaders of that defense.
Mm-hmm. Cornerback. We always have problems with cornerbacks. I'm excited not to do that this year.
Yeah. Cornerbacks just got better, man. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Maddox. I think that's the best trio in the NFL.
Yep.
Zach McPherson from last year, my boy from Alabama, Josh Jobe, and then Josiah Scott. I love all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all
Bradbury and Maddox. I mean, that just comes so nicely.
Slay, Bradbury, Maddox. That's so awesome. McPherson played a little bit better. If he can continue to develop, you might have your backup sitting right there. I know Maddox isn't that old, so he might still be there. But Slay's kind of towards the back end of his career, and James Bradbury might only be here for a couple of years. Slide in Josh Jobe and McPherson after those guys leave. They got some great cornerbacks to learn from ahead of them. So I think that's gonna be a good matchup there.
It's all about development.
And I've noticed we're getting a lot more SEC players. Josh Jobe from Alabama. That's awesome. That's awesome. We got Epps, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, Kayvon Wallace, and Reed Blankenship. Now, I would say that I only had 2 of these players because obviously we didn't have Chauncey Gardner, and then I didn't think Reed Blankenship was going to make it. I had Harris. So, how do you like these safeties? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Chauncey on the squad. I know that his apparently his pop-pop's favorite team was the Eagles, and he's got family in the area. So again,
that's awesome when he says Papa.
Pop-pop's favorite team. He arrived today. But no, I mean,
you see with him, man, he's a dog, man. Like I like that video that was out there, showed him like going up on Brady after interceptions or whatnot like that. He like picked him off twice and was in Brady's face like, what? If you hear like a lot of his press conferences, he's just not that guy that's talkative. He's just about going out there making his money, playing ball at a high level. I heard he's one of the biggest trash talkers to put him, Slay together. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you have Slay and him, just going off in your ear all game long. That's going to rattle a lot of these,
these guys are mic'd up too, so we can hear it.
Yeah, we're going to be able to hear some good stuff coming out of that backfield there. So I'm excited to see him play. I hope he can be. I hope Kayvon Wallace takes that next up. I didn't like the way he was getting burned, but that was Tyreek Hill. I don't think anybody can get mad at nobody for getting burned from Tyreek Hill, because most people that play against him get burned by him. That he's one of the fastest men alive. So I didn't really feel bad that he got that play scored on. And if it was a nobody receiver just scoring all over him, receiving all of them, I'd be a little bit mad about the situation. But I think I want to see him play better this year. Epps and CGJ is going to be starting this year, so you don't have the starting role yet. How many years it's going to take for you to get the starting role? Are you going to ever get the starting role? You know what I'm saying? Or are you just going to be a nice rotational swing piece guy? That'd be a swing safety. So I want to see him take that next step. Because he talks a lot of mess too on social media. I just want to see him back it up finally. Back it up, man. He's had a couple of decent games out there. He's had a couple of decent games, but nothing too great. And the Blankenship, I'm kind of shocked about him too. Like, he made some plays this preseason, but I didn't know. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know that too much stuff about him before the preseason. So that's good that another young players out there making a roster, and hopefully he can bring that impact, to the 53-man roster and actually make some plays this year.
Let's do it. What was it? Ready Red says, "Man, bump all that. We're division champs." I agree. And give everybody the broom.
What did he say? I didn't see that.
We got fans ready. It's Ready Red. Man, bump that. We're the division champs, which I agree.
Yeah, he's a Cowgirl fan.
You're the division. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we got some option here. You know what I'm saying? Reddy always thinks his Cowboys
We'll
win
forgive
every
you.
year. Yeah, but I told him that last year they swept the division. This year we're sweeping the division.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think? What do you think? What do you think the top will be? Like, what do you rate the teams? I want to just hear your.
in our division,
NFC East.
Eagles number one. Obviously, I don't think any one of these teams are even close to us. You know, like they're not even close. Not even Dallas. You know, they lost some good players last year. You know what I'm saying? Like they had all their players last year, picked up a couple of players this year. Maybe I will keep them there. But I think you know,
killer defense last year, though. I mean,
Parsons. Yeah, Parsons, but and even like the Diggs thing, that's like a once in a lifetime thing. I don't see him making 11 interceptions. They're good because they gave up a lot of yards too. A lot of people get hyped up off the turnover part, which is good to be number one in the league in turnover. But you know, they gave up a lot. They gave up some yards too. Like Diggs gave up a lot of yards too. I'm not 100% sold on them. I think they had a great season. Parsons great season. Now let's see if we can do it again. You know, back to back without. I think what they got rid of Gregory, right? They got rid of Lawrence. I think. No, Gregory for sure, and a couple of other players in that deep squad, and a couple of linemen. You know, they lost a lineman, and one left in free agency. So you got to replace good players with more good players. I don't think they did enough this offseason. And I think the Amari Cooper thing, making CD Lamb number one, is going to be terrible. I don't think Lamb's going to be that guy that can be a solid number one. I think he's going to be, you know, he's a good football player, so you're not taking it all away from him. But you know, I think he's not going to be getting as open as he was. He's not going to be putting up, you know, Dak's not putting up the same kind of numbers without Lamb and Wilson there.
Yeah, Dax can be on and off too. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, on and on. Then you got Gallup, who's coming back hurt. You know, so he might not even be 100% until like midway through the season. So you know, that's a lot of pressure for CeeDee Lamb off the back. You know, they got agent running back to have them produce since he got the bag. You know, so I don't know. I just see them taking a step back. I do think they'll be second in the division. You know,
I agree.
I think the Cowboys will be second. I think Washington, and then the Giants, honestly. But I've been over our division. I think we sweep them. I'm not even worried about the division this year, like 0%. I think it's all about us being the number one team in the league this year. I really feel like this is the season we got, you know, the talent out there to be the best team in the league. You know, you pair our roster up against a lot of these other rosters. There might be one or two, but I don't really know too many rosters with the same amount of depth as us. You know, the same amount of pieces that we have. You know, to be number one in so many different areas. You know, best cornerback trio. You know, arguably top 3 receiving trio. I think they're number one, but you know, people are gonna argue the Chase and them boys and you know, Tampa Bay and them boys. So like, you know, I'm saying top 3 in the receivers, you know, best offensive line, best defensive line, you know, a rising linebacking core, a lot of young studs out there, you know, a nice trio at running back, one of the best, top 5, top 10 tight ends. You know, I think him getting full time, you know, the full time position. If he had 800, 700 yards being a backup, imagine him as a starter. You're looking at 1,000-yard tight end there. You know, if he can pull that off, then that would be great. He'd definitely cement himself at the top echelons of tight ends this year. So it's like, you know, where's the weak spot? You know, I know teams that are good that have holes. You know, might not have that great of a safety or might not have that great of, you know, we're pretty much solid everywhere. And the places that we're probably the weakest at are nice young players that we're looking to hope take that next step and really develop into being real talents for the football team. So I think we're the best team in the league. I'm telling you guys right now, Eagles Super Bowl championship champions, ring that bell because it's going to happen this year and get on the board now. You know, I know even this a whole offseason from last season to now, you had all these guys fluctuating, not on the ship, you know, not on the ship. And we got a couple more after the draft, and we got a couple more people back on the ship after free agency. But okay, you know, you had your chance not to be on the ship. It's time to be 100% on it. You know, we're about a little over a week away from the first game of the season. I'm telling you, we're gonna kick a lot of ass this year. Yes, we are. We're gonna be destroying teams this year. It's gonna be amazing. So
let's pray for no injuries. I think we got.
But I think even like last year, we had injuries, good big injuries. You know, Brooks went out, Amala went out. We plugged and played and kept going. That's why I think I'm so confident with this team is we got depth at every spot. You know, it's not only talent, like there's depth there. The people that are behind, you know, the starters are actually good football players. Mm-hmm. I think, like you said, although we don't have a plethora of injuries, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of injuries where he's like, okay, Hurts goes out, AJ goes out. You got Kelsey out, Lane out. Freaking Fletch out. When you start naming a bunch of starters, and yeah, we might have some problems here. But man, other than that, like if it's only like one or two, I think we'll be able to, handle a couple of minor injuries to the team. Only a couple players, maybe getting hurt for the season or something like that. I think we'll be able to handle that. So.
Well, and
yeah.
also, too, I mean, when it comes down to it, these guys are all NFL players. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They are NFL players and in the league for a reason. They are all super talented, and it takes a special person to play in the league in general. So, I mean, they're there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's mostly the mental thing. Can you get over the mental hurdle, development of the NFL game as opposed to like college or something like that? So,
Right.
like I said, we got some good dogs on this team. I'm excited to see, us going to this week 1 against the Lions and go destroy them again like we did last year. It's gonna be awesome.
What do you think our record's going to be this year?
Okay, so I said this, our floor needs to be 13-4.
Okay, I was going 12-5, but
A lot of people have been doing it 12. I went 12-5 last year,
okay.
and we ended up 9 wins. So I have to go higher this year because we got a lot better players. I think we're going to actually get it this time. I'm going 13-4, being the floor. But I am going to say that, my fan side says 17-0. Like, I don't think we can be beat.
Right.
Like, when you look at the schedule, and it's not just talking, we actually do break down the schedule. There's not nobody on that schedule I'm worried about playing. I think we can beat all of them, easily. It won't be that hard of a deal, you know what I'm saying? Unless things break down, the coaching doesn't coach right. Some big players get hurt. They're just having a bad game. Like, stuff we can't control happens.
I was going to say, I will know come October. I get this feeling, and I got the feeling for the Super Bowl year. I actually booked my hotel in October for Super Bowl.
Nice. You already knew it was happening.
What?
Where was it at? Where's that this year? In LA again?
It's in Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
It's Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to call mom up and say, hey, we got to get that ticket for the Super Bowl ready because I'm going to be down there. We're going to be watching the Super Bowl together, Mom, because that'd be so awesome to watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
It was super great.
Like, did you go down to the parade?
I was at the actual Super Bowl, but I wasn't able to take off work to get to the parade too. So I had to pick between the two. So
yeah, Super Bowl's better. Being there, I guess, is better than being at the parade for sure. Jinx Whoops says 15-2. I like that 15-2.
Oh, go
with all the moves, guys. You guys let us know. What do you think the Eagles going to be? Like, what do you think their record's going to be this year? Let us know. Yeah. You said 13-4 is crazy. How about 10-7, 11-6? That sounds more realistic to me. So you're saying 7. You're saying that we went 9-7, first year quarterback, first year coaching staff, offense and defense, like 7 starters less than we have going into this season. That with all that being said, we're only winning one more game than last year. No, I think if that's the case, Howie should fire somebody. We only win one more game than last year. Come on.
Yeah.
Someone needs to get fired.
We started out terrible last year. So
someone needs to get fired for sure. So I don't know. I don't agree with that one. I think 13-4 is very realistic. Have you watched the schedule? Did you see the players? We don't play any elite quarterbacks. The defense is going to be feasting on teams all year long. I'm not really worried about it. I don't think that's very unrealistic. Now, the 17-0, I can understand you saying would be unrealistic, but that can even happen too.
The schedule's pretty easy. NFC East schedule is pretty easy. Now, and AFC West is going to be the killer.
What was your
No?
So you said 10, so 10 would be your floor.
I said 12-5.
Is that your floor?
What?
The floor, or that's your ceiling?
I think floor. That's the fan talking.
The 12-5 is the floor. And then what do you think the ceiling could be? 17-0, or are you going to be more realistic? Like,
I mean, I'm a little realistic. So, 16-1, 15-2.
There you go. I like it. 15-2. I like it. Yeah, we got 4 rings. It might not all be Super Bowls, but we got 4 rings, 4 championships, baby. About to get the 5th one this year. You right. You're right about that. That 5, just like the Cowboys, when they're talking about their 5, we're gonna be like, we got 5 rings too. Now only 2 of them will be Super Bowl rings, but there are 5 championship rings nonetheless. I'm excited for it. So, what would you say was the greatest moment of your being an Eagles fan so far for you? Was it the championship game? Do you have any other big games that you
Right. I
remember
mean,
being a
definitely.
fan watching, thinking that was the most awesome day for you?
Yeah, so definitely Super Bowl. I mean, hands down. Watching that Tom Brady throw that Hail Mary and watching that ball go down and it hit hit the turf. And I mean, as an Eagles fan, you always think something's going wrong. Like, oh my God. Like, and I literally remember seeing the ball hit the ground, and I turned to my best friend who was with me, and I was like, did we just win? We just won. And then, like, I second guessed it because I was like, I did just see the ball drop, right? Because we were kind of far down, and I was like, I just saw that, right? And then the confetti started going, the green confetti, and like obviously we won, and people start screaming and crying. I'm like tearing up.
Yes, it was a great day. You just see me.
Grown men were crying, like 300-pound grown men. So, but yeah, like. And then I was actually at a Miracle at the Meadowlands too.
You was?
So this is a crazy story.
Oh.
So, my friends are Giants fans, and I was flying in from LA the day of the game, and we got tickets in the end zone. And so I was like, I gotta make it. So thank God, like the plane was a little bit delayed, but not that bad. Got on the flight, and the game had already started and I flew into Philly. I didn't fly into New York. So I like dropped off my dog. My aunt took my dog. I got in the car. I got my rental car. I drive to the Meadowlands. It was super easy. I get there like around right before halftime. So I did well, right? And so yeah, I mean, we were losing so bad, and all my Giants fans my friends are like making fun of me. And there's a couple Eagles fans around, like we're kind of talking about it. And yeah, just in that last moments of the game, Deshaun Jackson killing it, punt returning and running it back. And I'll never forget it. He actually ran. If you guys don't remember, he ran towards the end zone, and then he kind of did like a fake, and he did like a detour, and then actually ran it. And he actually was running right towards me when it was happening. And then yeah, literally, like I can see it plain as day in my head. And I literally was like screaming my head off, and then he made it in, and then like everything erupted. So, and Deshaun's definitely still one of my favorite Eagles players to this day. I still have his jersey.
Definitely my favorite receiver of all time.
Kept it over the years, and he wasn't even on the team, so I still have it.
He's definitely my favorite Eagles receiver of all time.
Yeah.
He brought that passion, the speed, the excitement that we all wait for. We haven't really had too many of those guys. Devontae's good, but even he's not that Deshaun Jackson type impact player. You know what I'm saying? Like, D. Jackson's one of a kind. Was he the all-time leading deep threat, receiver in the NFL? So, he's that way for a reason. I definitely miss seeing him play. I was even looking forward to bringing him back another year. I know he's old. He can't stay healthy. But, it'd be cool just to bring him back on like a cheap veteran minimum. Just to have him back there. Maybe throw him in 2-3 plays a game to see if he can catch fire, because I remember seeing him what was it, last year when he went against the Cowboys or whatnot. He still lit the Cowboys up. I'm like, man, he still got it. Go get him. Go bring him back home. Go bring him back home. But man, it'd be nice. It would be nice to have Deshaun. I want to see him retire here. There's some players I just want to see him come back and go ahead and get his retirement here and be an Eagle.
He was actually on a list of mine that I was supposed to interview at one point, and he didn't actually show to the event that I was at. But I literally was like, I'm not sure if I could even talk to him. Like, that's how excited I would have gotten to I mean, I could have, absolutely. I'm very professional. But I'm like, be like, oh my God, Deshaun Jackson. So yeah.
So if you had a chance to get to interview some players, this year, what will be your dream list of players to interview this year from this year's Philadelphia Eagles team?
I mean, honestly, Hurts, I'd love to interview Hurts. I mean, I'm looking at, hopefully I can get Brandon Graham. I mean, Jason Kelsey again. I'd love to interview Sirianni for sure. Who else? Devontae would be great. AJ Brown.
AJ.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like any of the Eagles, I'd be super, super honored to interview.
Yeah, definitely any of them. But for me, like, it'd be awesome to interview Jordan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can be right there interviewing, be like, "Hey, guy, how you doing? How's the weather up there, buddy? Yeah. Are you gonna be a monster this year? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a
He
freaking
wasn't
nature.
at the draft, or else I would have gotten the chance to interview him.
He
But
wasn't at the draft. Oh yeah, he was drafted at home, huh?
yeah,
He didn't go out in the draft. I thought he walked out in the draft.
did he walk out?
Yeah.
Maybe I just missed it then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably
Yeah.
having fun that draft. Probably having fun for the draft.
Not all the draft guys, not all the picks came into the
Yeah.
So they were kind of allowed to do whatever they wanted to. So some chose to, and some chose not to. So I don't remember.
Yeah, he's a division champions mean nothing. Be conference champion of bar. Oh, true success for the Cowboys fans. Facts, they haven't seen a conference championship game in like 30 years, so those Cowgirl fans cannot talk. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I normally do, all time team, but we're gonna get out here. I want you to give me your top 5 Eagles and why. Your
Okay.
top 5 Eagles of all time. Just since you've been watching the Eagles, any year, any era, give me your top 5.
All right, I'm going Deshaun Jackson, number 1, because it's Deshaun, best, ever. McNabb. I think, honestly, it's a toss-up between McNabb and Cunningham. I mean...
Ooh.
Right?
I like Cunningham more.
Okay.
I think McNabb was more successful, but Cunningham kind of is the reason why I'm an Eagles fan.
Right, and that makes sense, and I kind of feel the same way. But, I mean, McNabb, took to...
But for me, he took a huge L out of my book when he threw up in the Super Bowl. We should have 2 rings right now. He sold his soul for Chunky Campbell soup, and I don't appreciate it.
Who else? I mean, I will always give props to Graham for that Super Bowl moment.
BG.
BG. Nick Foles, because I mean, he brought it to us.
And Nick was like the
Philly special man all the way. I've got the sticker.
That's the greatest short-term quarterback ever for in Eagles history. Some people have him as their favorite Eagle quarterback.
It's on my laptop. I got it right here.
Oh, what? She got her Nick Foles sticker ready.
Yep.
Look at her. Because even that year, I was there next to Nick's parents in Oakland when he threw the 7 touchdowns in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done some legend. What was he like? 27-2 that year. 2 interceptions, 27 touchdowns. He's had some good numbers on the Eagles. It's just you try to give him that big money, have him play for a full season. That's not ever going to happen. He's not that guy, but. I do love Nick Foles, and he definitely brought us to the championship. Played the best playoffs that probably any quarterback's ever had. Went toe to toe with the Golden One. You got to do nothing but give him love there.
And he's such a nice guy too.
Yes.
Friends that are like friends with his family. I met his aunt and uncle one time. His wife is from Orange County, so I have some LA contacts there.
Nice.
Yeah, they're a really nice family. And then finally, I got to go Mark McMillan. Mighty Mouse. Just because.
Oh, McMillan, you brought it in there. That was old school.
Yeah, I mean, you got to represent, So
Mark McMillan. I like that list. So you had, it was D-Jax, Cunningham, McNabb, Graham, and Foles.
And McMillan.
And McMillan, so 6.
Oh, I did 6. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, because I remember you said it's either between. We're gonna keep both of those studs on the list. You got the top 6 today. So that's pretty good. That's a good list. If I had to give you 5, you're going we're gonna go D-Jax.
Yep.
Dawkins. Westbrook.
Yep.
Randall Cunningham. And Donovan McNabb.
Okay. So say Jen.
That'd be my 5. It's pretty similar. But really, you could throw so many other players in there. I love all of them. You know what I'm saying? The Corey Simons, the Bobby Taylors, the Vincents, the Samuels, Jeremiah Trotters, Indy Kalu's, Trent Coles, Lon Curtis. There's a bunch of great players that we definitely had on this team, man. And we got a bunch of new ones, man. I'm interested to see, you think any of our players off this roster, if you give me 5 of them that you think has a possibility of going to the Pro Bowl this year, give me 5.
No, I mean Kelsey. Smith. Should I put Chauncey in there?
Yeah, he's got passion. And to be honest, with the secondary he has around him, he can be that guy.
So
Making impact
really,
plays.
who else we got? Who else we got? I mean AJ.
AJ.
And one more. Help me out here. What are your thoughts?
Let's go with. You always go Darius Slay.
Slay.
Because
Slay
had his best year last year, and I think with the help he got, he can even have a better year this year. Maybe like when you get more talent around you, that makes it so it's a lot more easier for you. So they can't just take everything away from you, go to the other side no more. They got to actually be kind of even with our secondary. So I think, if I had to go 5 Pro Bowlers this year, I'm going to say Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders,
okay.
Quez Watkins. That surprise guy. 'Cause I think AJ and Devontae both going to eat, but Quez will have a lot of big plays. And then Darius Slay. And did I say no? Darius Slay and one more. I'm gonna say, out of the blue, he starts by week 3 and just lights it up for the rest of his rookie year. I'm gonna put Nakobe Dean in there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I want to see the big guy. That, like I said, I want to see him be that stud linebacker that we haven't had in so many years. I think I want to see him take over and be that field general that we need. So I think Dean would be the last one. But like I said, I think the Eagles do go 13-4. I think the division is already done. We sweep the division, and I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, guys. Let's all get excited. It's going to happen. Mark it down. Go to your nearest bookie, racetrack, and go put it down. Eagles Super Bowl 22. So, hey, it was great having you on. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you for all your social media platforms one more time before we get out of here.
I'm at Sport Report Deb on IG and Twitter. So find me there. Reach out. Any questions, guys? I'm available. If you guys just want to talk football, I'm available. So
right, she's always down to talk that football, and what I'm saying, it's been a pleasure meeting you, and hopefully we can get some more work done. Here in the near future. So, like I always say at the end of my videos, guys, fly, Eagles, fly. Till next time, it's BG. It's Sports Report Deb, and we are out.
Bye, guys. Go Birds.